to another episode of Teaching Mama.
We know we've been doing a lot of other stuff lately, but we have not forgotten you when it comes to dinner. It's dinner time. We need some dinner recipes. Right. So tonight, we've got a fun one coming your way. So we know it's not quite springtime outside. The dandelions haven't quite popped yet, but they will be soon. And so we want to give you guys some ideas. Every year, when the dandelions are young and tender, we go out and we collect as many dandelion greens as we can so that we can make dandelion green pasta. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but just hang with me and you'll see it's delicious.
I know it is.
You do know it is. So tonight we're going to be making fettuccine chicken Alfredo with our dandelion green pasta.
Right.
So we're going to start right off. We have 4 cups of washed and dried dandelion greens. First thing we're going to do is blend up our 4 cups of leafy greens. Would you go ahead and process that for me?
Yeah.
Elena, if you can reach, would you please add our 4 farm fresh eggs right in here? Can you reach that? Okay. Good job.
Ew, that's yucky.
Well, it does kind of look a little yucky right now, but it won't be soon. We're going to put in just a pinch of salt, but you don't need much. There you go. All right, we're going to call that about half of a teaspoon of salt. Good. All right. And on we go. I call that good enough. All right, we are all mixed up. I'm going to scoot you back. All right, so we've got our dandelions and our egg mixture into our stand mixer. While we keep going, I'm just going to start adding a little bit of whole wheat flour mixed with sprouted green flour. For those of you who have asked, I have not forgotten about our sprouted green video. It is coming, I promise. So I'm just going to start adding about 4 cups and I'll mix that in and then we'll start adding more until we get the desired consistency. So let's have a little chat about dandelions. Dandelions are basically a multivitamin found in everyone's yard. They are loaded with vitamins A, C, K, E, a little bit of B, folate, which is something that is actually a little bit difficult to find naturally in foods. They're also loaded with calcium and magnesium and potassium and iron. And they're basically solid fiber. So you know they're going to help your digestive system. They have our beloved antioxidants, so they're going to help with inflammation. Dandelions have bioactive compounds. Now, bioactive compounds come in a variety of different forms. The 2 specifically that dandelion greens have are chicoraic and chlorogenic acid. Now, both of these help with cholesterol, blood sugar, your liver. They help increase your insulin sensitivity, which means that your body responds more appropriately when your pancreas releases insulin instead of just ignoring it. And they can also help with your blood pressure. So we added our 4 cups of whole wheat and sprouted grain flour. And for this batch, it looks like that was enough. You might need to add more or less to get the right dough consistency, which is pretty thick. Now I switched from my mixing attachment over to my dough hook, and I'm gonna go ahead and let this knead for a few minutes. All right, I'd say we're about ready here. We are just gonna dump all of our dough out right here.
But then it'll be yucky.
Well, not when you have a clean countertop, it won't. Now comes the fun part, and you can do this a lot of different ways. We have an old-fashioned pasta roller. You can just roll this out with a rolling pin, no problem. The most important thing, flour your dough. What happens is it gets stuck, whether it's on your rolling pin or in your machine, it gets stuck and then it rolls up on the pins and then you've got a big mess to clean up and it can ruin your pasta making experience. So flour your dough liberally. Once you do that, you're ready to start rolling. So we have our sheets of pasta all rolled out because we are about to roll our pasta sheets into fettuccine strips.
Fettuccine?
Ma ci situato giro d'amor delle belle turbando il riposo, la ci set mattuccino
We have the last of our pasta rolled. We've got a nice good sized batch here. Thank goodness I have a husband who could make an old leather shoe taste good on a grill. So I leave most of the meat cooking to him because he is the grill master.
His chicken is the best.
His chicken is absolutely the best.
Right.
So he's gonna be grilling the chicken and I'm gonna be making the Alfredo sauce.
Oh, pretty! Yeah, that looks really pretty.
All right, Ben has the chicken well underway and we are starting on our Alfredo sauce. So far we have 1 stick of butter, which is half a cup, and it's nicely melted and it's almost browned, but not quite. We're gonna add in 1 whole onion. Amelia, would you like to add this in for me? Okay, ready? Jump. Good job. Elena is going to add in 1 whole bulb of garlic. All right, now that we have our onions and our garlic in the pan, we're just gonna let that saute over low heat until the onions are nicely translucent and the garlic is starting to become very aromatic. All right, our onions and our garlic are all ready to go. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch just to thicken this up a little bit. Now that we have that mixed in well, and you can see that it's already starting to thicken up the onions and the garlic and the butter, we are going to add in a full quart of heavy whipping cream. Now I know this feels weird because this is diet food, right? But the truth is your body can handle this kind of fat if you're not eating it all the time. It's honestly a lot easier for your body to process heavy cream than it is to process sugar and processed food. Now we are going to add in about 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. And then lastly, I have about 1/3 cup of Havarti, and this just adds the best flavor. You don't have to use Havarti. I've used Dubliner, I've used an aged cheddar, whatever you have, whatever you like. But just adding something other than that Parmesan just elevates that Alfredo sauce to the perfect note. And lastly, we're gonna add a little bit of salt, not too much, because the cheese in here is gonna give it plenty of saltiness. So I added about 1/2 teaspoon, and then I'm gonna add in a solid teaspoon of pepper. So when you're working with fresh pasta, get your water boiling right before you're ready to drop your pasta, salt your water, drop it in, and after about 20 seconds, you wanna pull it right out. So we're gonna go ahead and drop our pasta.
la ci set mattuccino d'amor.
All right, everybody, there you have it. So thanks so much again for watching. Make sure that you like and share our videos, and we hope you have a great day.
Make sure everything you eat is on purpose.
Bye-bye.
Quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color.